Welcome back to Cooking with the why am I saying welcome back? I guess welcome back to a new episode? I don't know. Whatever. Well, today we're going to be making Paniscia, which is a risotto with cabbage and carrots and zucchini and red beans and pancetta. It's going to be fantastic. So just hang tight, grab your wine, and we'll get going here in a second. Okay, so we're going to start off with browning our pancetta. It's also a really beautiful night out, so I'm going to show you what it looks like out my back window here. Isn't that pretty? Got a really nice sunset. We got a towhee out there. That's that blackbird running around. So I'm going to go ahead and get some oil put in this pot. We're going to use a pot for this. Just about 2 tablespoons of oil. And then I'm going to put in some diced pancetta. It's already pre-diced, so I don't have to cut it up. You can buy it where it's not cut up, and then you just do it yourself. But this is quicker and it's just as good. Okay, while the pancetta is browning, what we're going to do next is take about a half of a red cabbage. We only need a cup, and we're going to thinly slice it until we get about 1 cup. That's all we need. Alright, you're also going to have a zucchini. You're going to dice this up. You also have a carrot. You're going to dice that one up. You also have a leek, and you're going to cut that one up and just chop it up kind of fine like. And then you're also going to need a celery stalk, and you're going to cut that up as well. Okay, just added the cabbage, so I've got all of my vegetables here. I'm going to go ahead and put those in the pot, and we're going to get those browned as well. So hang tight. Alright, so I'm going to move the camera over here so you can see what it looks like. This is just adding, this is just after we added all of the vegetables. So we're going to stir that around. Colorful medley. Okay, so while we wait for that to brown, grab your wine, hang out. If you have a gas stove, it makes cooking so much easier because if you need to turn up the heat, you can turn up really, really quick. I mean, if you've got an electric one, that's fine too. It just takes a little bit longer, but direct heat, like that direct flame, is pretty hot, and it helps to get all this cooking a lot quicker. Now this dish is going to take about at least an hour or so to make. So once this is brown, we're going to add the beans that have been soaking all day in salt water. We're going to add that to that. We're going to add about 8 cups of water. We're going to let that boil for about 45 minutes to an hour. So this dish does take a little bit of time to make, but it'll be worth it, I promise. We're going to give about 5 more minutes before our stuff is brown. I don't know about you in the COVID tummy like I got, but I suppose with your leftover cabbage you can just have it for lunch or dinner snack. Alright, just about ready. Now, put a little bit of salt in this dish, not a whole lot. You know me, I grind my own. And I'm sorry if my buddy John DeFindis ever watches this. I am adding a little bit of salt to my dishes. John DeFindis was a former Mr. USA, and he swears by a very low to no sodium diet. So salt is a no-no. So I'm sorry, John. If you ever catch wind of this cooking with the cob video, I apologize about putting the salt in there, but my family just won't eat it without salt. I'm sorry. Okay, we are just about there. We are going to put in the beans and some sprig of rosemary from the garden and some water. We're going to bring that up to a boil here shortly. All right, so let's get the beans. Put those in. So I've had the beans soaking all day. I'm going to add the beans. And then a sprig of rosemary. We grow our own rosemary. It grows great out here in Washington, so I'm just going to drop that in the pot. And then I'm going to add 8 cups of water and bring it to a simmer, and again, see it in about an hour. Don't forget. Okay, so our vegetable and bean mixture is just about done. So at this point, what you're going to need is a very large pot, a small pot, a bowl, and a strainer at this point. So you're going to need a lot of stuff. So if you don't have this, improvise. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your bean and vegetable mixture and you're going to strain it because we want to get the broth. So the broth is going to go in the bowl. It'll take a minute or so for it to fully drain. Your beans and vegetables, they're going to be very, very soft at this point. All right, so put it back in the pot once it's done draining. Remember that sprig of rosemary? Make sure you pull it out. There's nothing left. Just set this aside. You're going to have your broth here, and just go ahead and pour it into this other little pot. And then just keep that pot, if you've got the capability, put it on simmer. All right, you just want to kind of keep it warm, because what we're going to do next is we're going to make the risotto. We're going to take some of this broth and the rice, and we're going to slowly add the broth to that rice so that it starts to soak up some of that moisture in the broth, and as it condenses, we're going to add more. So you're not going to add all of this at once, you're just going to kind of add it a little bit at a time. So hang tight, we'll be right back. Okay, this next part is going to require an onion and some salami, red wine, salt and pepper, and the rice and some vinegar. But what we're going to do first is we're going to take the salami and we're going to take the skin off. So if you ever been to the supermarket and see the dried salami in the deli, this is a piece of it. It looks like that, usually obviously a lot longer, and it's got this casing over it. This casing is really hard to get off. It's not easy. If you look at the instructions on them, oftentimes there'll be a cord or a string, and you pull it, and then it's supposed to peel off. It is not easy. So I take my knife, I score the peel, and then I take pieces of it, and then I peel it off like so. Typically it's pretty dry, so it does not come off very easy. Just gets away from you sometimes. It takes a lot of strength to take these off, and this is why I work out, so I can take the casing off salami. Only reason I work out. So now we're going to go ahead and cut these up and then dice them. Alright, and that's what dicing looks like. Little pieces, almost like little dice. I typically play the music the music that I play for dinner is based on whatever dish I'm making. So this is Italian, so I've got the Rat Pack playing. If you don't know who they are, you're gonna have to look them up. I give you a hint. Frank Sinatra's one of them. Maybe Dean Martin. So if you've ever cut up dried salami, that hard salami from the deli, make sure you have a sharp knife, because it's not easy. And if you can't cut through two pieces, you can go to the gym. I'm being careful because it's really greasy because of all the fats and oils in the salami, and I don't want to slip and then, you know, end up without a finger. Oh, that's right there, you know, without a finger. All right, so next, take some oil, put it in your pot. Heat it up on low heat. And then chop up your onion. I used a yellow onion. You can use a white onion, that's fine. Just don't use red for this. So yellow or white is fine. And then go ahead and finely chop this onion as well. If my eyes start tearing up, it's because of the onion or a dog died. It's one of the two. And none of my dogs have died yet. Jaeger? No, he's still there. Good. This is a strong onion. Alright. There we go. So we have our onions and our salami and our oil. Nice and hot. Well, medium. We'll go ahead and put this in. And we're just going to cook it till it's nice and brown. Whew. Cheers. Okay, so now that our pancetta and onions are browned, we're going to go ahead and put our risotto in. I use 1.5 cups. Okay, let that cook, drink some wine. And you're just going to cook the risotto until, let me see if I can show you. It's going to be, might be really hard to see because it's little. See if we can get the light right. Okay. It's going to be a little blurry, but it's like it's a, you know, little rice grain looking thing. And you want to cook until the ends are translucent. Sometimes it looks like it's translucent right out of the package. So, with that being the case, just cook it for about 3 minutes. Doesn't take very long. I'm gonna go grab some tomato paste. Got my tomato paste, and this is a squeezable kind. So we're just gonna put about a tablespoon in. Mix it in there really good until it's nice and fragrant. Okay, you have two options on this. You can either do a white dry wine or a red wine. If you do the white wine, you want to use a red sherry vinegar. If you do a red wine, you want to do a white wine vinegar. All right, so we're gonna do red wine. It's about a cup. And then just about 2 teaspoons of the white vinegar. Now once you put that in, it's going to smell like you're literally cooking wine, so it's going to be pretty fragrant in the kitchen. It's going to smell great. So we got onions, red wine, white wine vinegar. We've got all of our vegetables that were cooked. We've got our broth. So the kitchen's gonna smell great. Okay, so at this point we're just waiting for the rice to soak up the wine, and then we're going to add some of the broth, and we're just going to keep doing that back and forth until the rice soaks up the broth. It gets kind of dry, not super dry, but until it soaks it up. We're going to add some more broth, and we're just going to keep doing that back and forth until we're done, and the risotto is fully cooked. And that's going to probably take about 12-15 minutes or so to do that, so we're not going to sit here and watch me do that. So we'll get back to you in a little bit, but let me just show you beforehand. That's what it looks like right now as the wine is soaking into that risotto. Okay, so now that the risotto is almost ready to go, and I have my family behind me, there's my wife. There she is. Nope. Nope? Okay. All right. Kaiser, if you're watching, I've got fresh pepper, and I'm gonna grind it. Kaiser is one of the police officers that I work with. Here's some pepper that I ground for Kaiser. We're gonna throw that in there. And let me show you what this looks like. Okay. It's almost done soaking up all of the broth that we had transferred from the bean and vegetable. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But what, bean and vegetable? Where are you, Jen?
What?
She's hiding. My wife is literally hiding behind that area because she doesn't want to be on my little cooking with the cop thing. Come here. I'm trying to get her over here. Come here now. Get over here now. You got to come here. Do it. Do it now. Who was that? That was a great impression, wasn't it? Yes. Here's my wife, Jennifer. Now, when I make Italian food, we dance.
Too much wine.
Alright. Alright, so we're going to shut that off, and then we're going to put the bean and vegetable medley, if you would, into that. We're going to cover it. We're just going to let it rest for about 5 minutes, and then it's going to be good to go. And then we're going to serve it. I'm going to make it look really pretty, and then we're done. So thank you for watching. But we're going to be back, so don't leave yet. We're recording, so go ahead and we're live now on Instagram.
Hi
What's up?
guys. So I'm gonna tell you a story.
Okay. My daughter is right there on the stairs. Okay.
So
She forgot what she's saying. All right. Anyways, we're gonna focus on the food and dinner tonight. So here we go. Ooh. I think my daughter's still talking. I can't hear anything. All right. So now.
Oh, sorry, I'm out.
She knows I'm recording. All right.
You guys are annoying.
She said we're annoying. All right.
She's gonna edit that out.
She's gonna edit this out. Anyway, so here's top it off with a little bit of greenery, and there is your. Oh, it fell. And there's your dish right there. Paniscia. How did I pronounce it? Well, I looked it up earlier. I can't remember anyway. It's good stuff. All right. Thanks for hanging out with. Everyone's laughing. Thanks for hanging out with me, cooking with the cop, and my family. Over here, behind this wall, is my wife, and my daughter's upstairs doing whatever she does, and my son's somewhere. Anyways, thank you. We'll see you later.